Which pedal changed the direction or ethos of the company the most?
Oh, I think our ethos has remained the same.
Yeah, okay.
Like from the very off, in fact, from when I was doing DIY stuff, I've always tried to choose the best components, choose consistency over, swanky things. So like, we go for 1% resistors. We'll go rather than carbon comps, although carbon comps look wicked.
Yeah.
So I've gone for repeatability. I want every single pedal to be as close as possible.
Yeah.
So the ethos has always remained the same. We have a bit of difficulty there with things like the Boneyard because you get transistors are just inherently different. The actives are inherently different from each other, but within a realm, they're about the same. The one that changed the direction it's definitely the Mushroom Cloud, the Fallout Cloud. It put us on the map. But we were really lucky from the off. Like, we came straight out of the gates with like a fully good to go, professional looking product.
It was already a mature product.
Yeah, so the gun shop, the argument goes, well, you were already on a certain trajectory, and then it was just sort of given a boost by Electro Harmonics, by sending us a cease and desist. I mean, it was
blessing.
Thank you, because to be fair, Premier Guitar were the ones who wrote it was the Rolls Royce of Big Muffs, which I really appreciated. I thought that was an amazing thing, and within 12 hours we get a cease and desist. But the fact was that what that slight minor controversy did was allow other people to find us.
Yeah.
Because the biggest problem you have is being found, being seen. We do these videos to be seen.
Yeah.
So I think I learned a lesson there as well. So it wasn't just a case of, hey, being seen. It was the lesson learned, and that did change the trajectory, is that you aren't selling if people don't see you. They don't know you exist. So they need to.
Yeah.
So that was the lesson that came out of that, and changed the direction, kept the ethos there.
Yeah. Interesting how maybe a negative turned into a big positive.
Well,
or did you ever see the cease and desist as an issue?
It was panic initially, but and that's okay, because that's a human reaction. I think the initial panic was then sort of, it subsided, and you realise, actually, I'm probably going to lose this battle, but win the war overall. So, which is it's a bit of a military saying, but be willing to sort of give up a little bit of ground to get the whole picture, And yeah, it was a negative initially, but only for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, well, we'll do it. Because although the cease and desist is like, you've got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And to be fair to them, they were really very decent, like in the way that, I still don't agree with it, but like, we couldn't afford to fight it. And they knew that. We knew that.
End of story.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Was it negative? No, not wholly. Not at all.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's pivot a little bit. If you could combine two Thorpy pedals into one dual pedal, what would they be?
So I've tried to do this before, combining two Thorpy pedals. The problem we have with this is, I try and bake lots into the 4 or 5 knobs that we have. We don't really have any pedals that are like, well, we do, but we have had like two knobs. But most of them generally have been 4 or 5 or 6. And at that point, combining 2 pedals with 6 knobs each, you're into 12 knob territory, which is a lot of knobs.
Wow.
Right, sausage fest. So it's a lot of knobs. And so I wanted to, like, for instance, I really love the combination of the Peacekeeper and the Warthog.
Yeah.
But to combine the two is 4 plus 5. It's 9 knobs. And I don't want to strip anything out of the Peacekeeper, because everything about that pedal is good because of the control that you have. So I can't do that. And then the Warthog, at best, I could probably put 1 internally. And then, again, you're just ruining that.
But we've spoken about that before, the last time, I think, about how if it's important...
It's on the outside, which is where we're at. And again, back to our ethos, I try and make things as simple as possible, but bake in a lot of complexity that's not necessarily seen. So the answer is, if somehow I could find a way to make the Peacekeeper and the Warthog go together in one, I think that would be a very, very versatile pedal. But your best bet is to buy both and enjoy them for what they are, because I can't really do it and make it ergonomic as well. It just ends up being a dog's dinner.
Yeah.
And I won't do that either. So
No.
So yeah, the answer is, when I do it, it'll essentially be designed like that from the start.
Fair enough. Yeah. Funny enough, those would be the two pedals I would pick to put in one as well.
It just covers so much bloody ground.
What pedal would you give to a total beginner, and why?
A tuner.
Okay, they've got a tuner. What Thorpy pedal?
I need a tuner. I need a tuner all the time. Like, nothing great's worse than something that's slightly out of tune.
Slightly, yeah.
And
being slightly out of tune is worse than being massively out of tune.
I can just hear it. I have a... We're going off topic. I have a real issue with certain things. Like, at distance, and I'm talking like a couple of meters, I can see half a mil out.
Yeah.
And it upsets me.
You got good eyesight then?
No, I've got contact lenses.
Oh, right.
But I have the ability to discern. Technically, with contact lenses, I'm 20/20, whatever. But I really struggle. And the worst thing about it is, if someone's pointed it out to me, can't live with it. Cannot live with it. I've got a Greco over there that someone pointed out that the pickup was ever so slightly on the skew. And the knock-on effect that had... No, it wasn't. Well, it was going to be that bad. I ended up doing some jiggery pokery, which then meant I had to shave bits off the pick guard, and nightmare. I ruined it. They ruined it for me, and I ruined it for myself. I can't live with it. Anyway.
So tuning.
It depends what they're after.
Yeah.
I think from a purely satisfaction perspective, the Gunshot's a great start. From a versatility perspective, yeah, probably the Peacekeeper. But actually, I think just for plugging in, that's a straight up awesome, nicely saturated sound, covers a lot of ground. Just go with the Gunshot, you'll be happy.
For a beginner.
Yeah, fuzz is a bit of a Marmite thing, and if you love fuzz, you love fuzz, and if you don't, then it can just be annoying. Modulation, you've really got to deep dive into it I think, to sort of understand why you need it and why you enjoy it. And it feels like there's levels to this game, and something that's just like plugging straight into an amp and is instantly rewarding, that's the answer. And the Gunshot is probably that, or the Warthog, but that's a taste thing. I think the Warthog might just be a little bit too much baked into it.
Yeah.
For a new player.
The Gunshot maybe has a clearer identity than the Warthog in some sense.
Yeah, so the Warthog just covers a lot of ground, and it is awesome in all of those areas, but the Gunshot is the one that I'd say plug in, done.
What is more important to a pedal's success or failure, the name or the artwork?
Name or artwork? Well, they're both important, because obviously if you call it something that's absolutely a profanity or
just bad,
and you weren't expecting it. So if, for instance, like you call it something and in German that means something else, well, you're not going to sell them in Germany, and then that joke will leak, and then it becomes a problem. So there is that element to it. But then equally, if you do the artwork and then don't see that you've done something juvenile within the artwork, that can also cause you problems. Thankfully, I often go to the juvenile place. So usually what they'll say is, if you think your design's good, go and show it to a 5-year-old and watch them pull it to pieces and what's wrong with it. I don't need that.
No.
I can see that myself. I'm at that level. So both are equally important, but I think more so the artwork is what people initially see. They're tied together, but the artwork is the thing that if you get it right, it's like you get that wow factor. The name is the name. It can be relatively boring, I guess. Or benign is probably the better word. But then again, calling a pedal the benign is not going to do you any favours, is it?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So I think the artwork is the most important of the two.
Yeah, interesting. I would have thought the other way around, because when you're searching for something,
It's funny you have to think about this stuff, because you don't want to. I didn't even. Yeah, searching's important as well, because you don't want to make it hard to spell
or say,
or too many syllables.
Yeah.
If you do all of that, you've just created a nightmare for yourself that A won't get searched, B, no one will care about. You know, we are simple beings at heart, like the clon. Perfect. Well, I'm not even sure if it's called the clon. Clon. I know, admittedly, it's clon centaur, but clon.
Yeah.
You know, we like to
yeah.
we like to simplify things and make, you know, it's the one thing that's baffling about Ibanez guitars. They're not exactly catchy in their naming, are they?
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's the Ibanez. I'll have seven vowels, 3 consonants, and 20 numbers, please. It looks like Countdown on crack. It is.
Soundbite.
Come up with a better name. I love their guitars. I mean, actually, Steve Vai knows the score. You know.
Yeah.
His aren't called 20 consonants, 6 vowels, and 4,000 numbers, are they? They're called Pia.
Yeah.
Or
What was the other one?
the Gem.
Gem. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah.
He's not gone with the all the alphabet. And maybe they've all got proper names and I'm just making a fool of myself, but I don't think I am.
But at the same breath, they're doing all right.
Yeah, to be fair, I wish I was doing as well. I should. Right, the next pedal is going to be called the 1, 2, 3, 4 clon.
This might be a little spicy. Maybe it's not.
Be careful, I get IBS with spice.
This is unhinged today.
Sorry. I've been on holiday. I'm feeling rested.
Yeah.
I'm sort of tanned, which is a bit odd because, you know, the summer in the UK is not renowned for being. That's why you've got your neutral density filter on. I'm just so brown.
What's something the forums get wrong about Thorpy effects?
Ooh.
Is there anything you want to settle the score on?
Do you know what's really interesting? And actually, I will say this on behalf of me, but actually, I think it reflects other brands as well. You're in a bit of a weird place as a company within the guitar world, because people want you to behave like your Gibson or Fender or be that sort of size, but be as available as, you know, a very one-man band type sketch, you know, as we were. And we're not a one-man band now, but we're not Fender or Gibson by any stretch. And so I think one of the things that people get is they kind of misunderstand where you are at and what your capabilities are. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing, because, you know, sometimes people think you're not going to be able to reply personally, but we often do. You know, I often do. And I think the expectation is that everyone's got the same resources, and we just do not. Like, I don't have the same resources as Fender. I don't have a PR team. I don't have a legal team. I don't have a cleaner. I don't have any of that. I mean, we do all this ourselves, you know. And sometimes I do wish that people in forums would understand that. Like, if I don't get back to you within 3 hours, it's probably because I'm asleep. Like, and we're on a different time zone.
Yeah.
That's usually the case, if it's that. But most of the time, like, we've got a really good relationship with people, and they understand our sort of footprint within the world. But again, just because someone's had some success, like there are companies that have had really good success and then have struggled with that success, don't beat them up. They're just trying. They're trying to grow. Growing's painful.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, sometimes cut people some slack, because ultimately they might not have the footprint that you think they have, you know. And I haven't really got anything to say with regards to how that's impacted us. I think in the past, we all make mistakes, don't we? But it's not been a reflection of our size. It's generally been a reflection of, hey, yeah, we messed up here, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the time we have real positive experiences, and I just wish people would understand that there's a human behind all of this. And that's part of what I'm saying with regards to the footprint. You know, it's all right to badmouth people on the internet or be really positive about people on the internet. Whatever you do, just understand that there is a human there, and you might have just absolutely dumped on their day. And sometimes it's nice to take a step back and go, do you know what, I'll just contact the company. Yeah. That, I think, in the first instance, in anything, contact the company. I haven't really answered that very well, have I?
Well, you haven't. I think, you know, before anybody does say something on a forum, that maybe they do need to consider who's going to read that.
Yeah, it really affects you.
Yeah. I know how that feels as well.
It's the comments thing on YouTube and stuff like that. Some people love to troll.
Yeah.
Some people just want to get in there and say, what would I say about, what do people, answering the actual question, what do people get wrong about Thorpy? Do you know what? I don't think they do. Like, we've generally messaged quite well and tried to, I think in the early days, we absolutely did try and sort of think big, be big type sketch. And when we were a one-man band or one-woman band, because Georgia was running the company whilst I was wearing two hats, we probably came across as bigger than we were.
Yeah.
I think now we're in the good place where we're about where we are, and that all makes a lot of sense. But now, yeah, what do they get wrong? Not a great deal. I think most people understand what we're about, what we do, through our actions and the amount of product we shift.
Yeah. What you see is what you get.
Pretty much. You know, there's no ulterior motive. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Good one.
Sorry, I rambled on that one.
We came round to it. We got it. We got there. I'm sure there's lots of artists, guitarists out there using Thorpy effects, and some that you won't even know about. But have you heard of any surprising artists or guitarists using a Thorpy pedal on their board?
I got sent a screenshot of a Japanese magazine in Japanese. Well, obviously, it was in Japanese. I'm sorry. But it was a whole article. It was Slash playing lap steel.
Yeah.
And then just plugged into it, just behind him, was our Peacekeeper. Yeah. You've got no idea what that is such a cool feeling. Because he's bought that, or he's been given it by someone.
How has he come across that? Yeah.
And he's using it, and it's amazing. For me as a small builder, that is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, guitar hero, guitar god, using our stuff.
Yeah.
So that one was a genuine surprise and was amazing. We've got other amazing stars that use that stuff. I don't want to. Sorry,
I guess some are secret in some sense, or they just.
Well, I don't think they're secret. It's just that some are, right, but some some are, but like not. It's not that they're being secret. It's just that they want their privacy, and I'm not willing to add their name to our list because they want their privacy, and I'm cool with that. I don't really see it as an issue. I think we should shout out more about who uses that stuff because I'm really proud of it. You know, we've got some bands that buy pretty much everything we make, and it's like that's a big deal for us, and we will always look after them. We've got some guitarists that are like, I'm on tour with so and so, I need this pedal, I'm here at this hotel for like 3 days, can you get it to me?
Yeah.
And we've done that 3 times over.
Same person.
Different guitarist, same headline act.
Oh, interesting.
Like, so I can't. So I'm being really cryptic.
Yeah.
Real
bit of a signature.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Like grade A headline act. Guitarist with that headline act. So and so wants me to use this pedal. Right, cool.
Right. Okay. Wow.
And we've done it 3 times over, and it's like it's blown me away every single time. Like, crap, we've got to get this somehow. Like Barcelona or where are you next? We'll send it.
Jump in the car.
No, we've never had to do that. Like, unfortunately, it's always been like, oh, we're in Europe, we're in South America, we're in I've got to hope the logistics works. And they've been really cool challenges.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, you know, I'll tell you one of the coolest stories is Joe Halliday, Hello Sailor, will probably appreciate this actually, because obviously I'm ex-Army, he's ex-Navy, British Navy, and sorry, the Royal Navy. And we got a message from a captain of a ship saying, I'm deployed on HMS XXX. That's not it. That sounds like that'd be a good boat to be on.
Sounds like a good boat.
Anyway, so he goes, we've got a band on board. I'd really like a pedal. Could you get it to a BFPO address, which is British Forces Post Office? Like, absolutely, I'm used to that because I used to get BFPO stuff shipped to me all over the world. And he wanted a depogging, which is brilliant because obviously it's named after the watery ocean and what the Navy call the deep blue sea. So I sent it to him. I said, look, here you go. Obviously, it's just going to cost a little bit more in shipping, but we'll sort all this out. Can you get me some pictures?
Yeah.
And so he did, and he sent me some pictures. It was a few years ago, but like I got pictures of the depogging on a ship, and I was like, absolutely brilliant.
That's great.
And stuff. It's stuff like that that really sort of
HMS Triple X.
Yeah, HMS Triple X. It's not Vin Diesel's boat, right? Anyway,
I guess as well that you have studios buying your pedals, and
we
then
do.
I guess you don't know who's coming through that studio and recording with those.
So some of the things that have happened to us have happened because of studios. Like a studio's gone, I need X, and we all go, all right, yeah, cool, we've got, when do you want it? And then what happens typically is a band will come through and the sound engineer or the production manager is like, oh, you should try this for this particular piece. They've used it and they've gone, ah, crap, we need that live now.
I need that now, yeah.
Because that's the sound.
Yeah.
And that's happened with Redbeard actually quite a lot.
Yeah,
quite a lot with Redbeard.
A Redbeard thing.
And so, I mean, we can't say, but I'd love to tell you how many artists, albums, the Redbeard stuff is all over.
Yeah. They're quite iconic signature sounds, shall we say.
Yeah, and they're on a lot
of
like big star albums. And, it's I think we probably do that British thing a little bit too much, as in we keep it quiet. We should shout from the rafters a little bit more, but
people's privacy, like you said, as well.
Yeah, exactly. And also it's people's signature sauce. That I appreciate that they want to have that sound for themselves.
Yeah. Why do you think the Fallout Cloud connects with players in ways some people don't connect with traditional big muffs?
Because it's easy to make it fit your rig.
Okay, next question.
No. It is easy to use. The Big Muff is iconic, right? Don't misunderstand me. It's absolutely iconic. And when we were developing the Fallout Cloud, we were toying with, I say we, like me and Georgia at the time, we were toying with doing the Screddy route. Mm-hmm. So Screddy pedals? Mm-hmm. He does some incredible sort of, this is a ram's head, this is a triangle, this is a...
all in one.
And they are a labour of love, you can tell. The transistors are matched perfectly. I'm an advert for Screddy here. Yeah. They're good pedals, but they are still a Big Muff. The best version of a stock Big Muff that you can get. And a good Big Muff is on, like the tone controls on hair trigger. If you just knock it, you're out. Yeah. Like your frequencies are all out, and it doesn't work with whatever you're doing, and it becomes too woofy, too bright, too whatever, and it's just a nightmare.
And that tone control is just doing so much more than just bright or dark. It's shifting everything.
Yeah, and you gain everything about it is just like, it's a bit of a pain to use. When it's nailed down, it's perfect. Getting it to be nailed down is like almost nigh impossible. To do it more than once, you'd probably, your best bet is just to tape it down. modern versions of it aren't, and we're not talking about modern versions. We're talking about old, original, good Ramsay, good Triangle, all the rest of it. The reason the Fallout Cloud, we didn't go that route is we did not want to sit and sift through and be tied to a specific set of transistors that had a specific tight gain range, which meant we had to junk everything, because it makes it almost impossible to make the thing for everyone. So the Fallout Cloud, I knew I wanted a sound from this amazing Triangle Big Muff that I had my hands on. We knew we wanted to do that, so we just worked out how to do it with the EQ and clever bits and bobs that we did.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's repeatable.
Yeah.
But also because of that, your rig is not almost irrelevant, but it can change, and the pedal doesn't care, and you can just whoop, whoop,
Yeah.
and you're in the right place again. So I think that's why. I mean, certainly that's what we were trying to achieve. I think people have got on board with that and like it. I mean, it's still, we haven't wanted to change it.
No, you just did that. You did that BC 109 one, was it?
BC 108, yeah. And that was just a slightly lower gain version. Now at the top end of the gain range, it's you're in the same place, ish. But at what you ended up with the BC 108, which we've made available again, in small quantities. You can order it if you want it. You've got more of the low gain side of things. And whereas on the Fallout Cloud, you've got a very narrow window to operate in. The BC 108, that low gain bit is spread around the knob because the gain on the transistor is so much less. You know, in the standard Fallout Cloud, we use BC 549Cs, and they are brilliant. They are just repeatable. They are a good low noise transistor. In a modern package, it's the same as the BC 109. The C bit at the end is the higher gain bit of it.
Yeah.
So it's a higher gain version of the BC 109 in a plastic package, the transistor body, and we're great. We know that they're good and they work. The BC 108s are lower gain anyway as a transistor. They're the lower gain version.
Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I like that.
So why do people like it? I think just because it's easy, it's comfortable.
It gets you where you
need to be, and you don't. If you knock all the knobs, you can easily get back to where you need to be, and you're not like hair triggering it.
Yeah. In the same vein, what's harder to make, a great fuzz or a great modulation? Difficult because people are more picky about fuzz, I would say.
That's hard. Making a great fuzz with very few components is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
From a technical perspective, making the modulation's harder.
Yeah.
It just is.
More to it.
There's more to it. I mean, I'll give you an example. We obviously have tried to make the creme de la creme of analog modulation. That's our stated goal. It's what we want to do. So we've done phaser, we've done tremolo, we've done chorus, and we've done flanging. It's so much more complex to do those things, which means you're doing more to the signal. And yet you still want it to be musical, and you still want it to be low noise, and you still want it to be repeatable, and the list goes on. It's a hard task to do. Like it takes years of R&D to do something new. It takes conscious effort to try and stand out, because what would be easy to do is just copy someone else's design and just sort of make slight tweaks. But if you want to do it originally, it's really, really hard. I've still got the PTSD from the camouflage.
Was that the last modulation?
No, actually, the pulse Doppler was.
Okay. Oh, ER2 as well?
ER2, yeah, of course. I mean, look at that, everything blurs. I'm terrible.
It does.
But to do it right, it's quite a hard thing. Now, that being said, very low quantity of components to get a fuzz right. It's a bit like, like you go to a restaurant and they make a nice meal. It's that sort of analogy. I think I've used this before, but essentially you'll be amazed what a really good chef can do with very little ingredients, but they're all really good ingredients, and then he's really good himself. Yeah. It's that level.
Yeah.
So to make a really good fuzz is a technical challenge or technical challenge isn't the right word. A mastery challenge. You are if you're really good at it, and there are some amazing fuzz guys out there, connoisseurs. To be that good at it is it's a joy to behold. I mean, I still buy those things because I love what each one of those builders does.
I feel like, with some of those builders, it's almost knowing when to stop designing the pedal.
Yeah, well, they go deep.
When to stop.
Yeah, David Main, I'll always cite his company's Differential Audio Manifestations. I've got a few Pig Dog branded pedals. They're just incredible. The Juju it's got the Juju. There's quite a lot of those builders, and you're just like, amazing. Yes, but modulation's harder. Not only is it harder, it's also a much worse financial endeavour.
I guess, yeah.
That no one will talk about, but sorry, I'll talk about it now. There is a weird stat in that modulation will probably be outsold by other things like overdrives, fuzzers, and something by about 5 to 1. Okay, so 20% sales compared to something else. It's not always the case. But that's a good rule of thumb.
Surprise me.
And then on top of that, it costs probably about 5 times as much to build. And from an R&D perspective, you are between 5 and 10 times cost.
Yeah.
It's a hard game to do those numbers.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't say people are doing these as loss leaders. I don't think that's the case. I mean, it does feel like you need to have a breadth in what you make. So it's important to do the modulations. I feel like to be a fully rounded company. That's why, as much as people keep going, oh, you need to do a delay. It's just taking time, and it's trying to get it right. And it's just, I'd rather release it tomorrow, but I now need to sit down with it and crush it essentially, and make sure it's good for the road. But yeah, modulations. 20% of the sales, 5 times the cost, maybe even higher.
60% of the time, every time.
Yeah, but it's a hard game to be involved in, that one, and so to do it well, it's even harder.
What's your favourite pedal to stack with the Peacekeeper?
Oh, a friend put me onto this. Simon, his name is, and I would say my favourite pedal right now to stack with the Peacekeeper is a Klon. Because they complement each other really, really well. And he was the one, he said this, it's because of the way the Klon's mids are. It just complements perfectly. And so you end up with that really nice sort of feedback from your guitar that you don't necessarily get from other combinations. I love to stack the Peacekeeper with pretty much anything, but as of late, that's really cool to do.
So could you say a Peacekeeper stacks really well with a Peace Squared Keeper?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the Peace Squared Keeper, and we can talk about it now, can't we? Obviously, it's out. Ended up being, the reason we put squared, because it ended up being more than the sum of what we actually designed for it.
A small change made a big difference.
Oh yeah, and we ended up, because of the small change, ended up making more changes within it. It wasn't, it was a couple of things that needed changing. It ended up being that the gain control on the Peace Square Keeper had almost 3 definitive sections as to what it can do. Yeah, it will stack nicely with the Peacekeeper. But they're almost totally different pedals in some regards. Yeah. Like certainly in certain regions of the gain control.
Interesting.
So yeah, I wouldn't say. I think the initial aim was to make the Peace Square Keeper more Klon-like, but actually, it's not. It's its own thing.
Okay, that's interesting. Anything new in the Tone Kallax?
Oh, Tone Kallax today. I am going OG.
Going OG. Did your name come up, or have you had this for a while?
No, my name came up. But there's a reason they're popular, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I bought the Chase Bliss version, the Brothers, and I really like it. But I was like, I just want the I want the OG one.
Not the real one.
No, I think it's the real one. They're both real. It's not a plug-in. We've already talked about plugins. Or have we? I can't remember. We have.
Probably.
Yeah. So, well, I got this. Actually, the reason is I'm sort of slowly. I had a few pedals when I was very new into the game, and I ended up. I had a period where I had to sell pretty much everything because I went through a divorce and at the time, and it was just like I ended up selling a lot of stuff because I just ended up moving into like a bed sit nearly. It wasn't a bed sit, it was really nice, but like I shared with people. It was a bachelor pad, and so I just didn't have the space. That's why I got rid of the Cornford and got the Cornford back.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just slowly getting back into things. So I've got two.
You got to, haven't you? When your name comes up, you've got to.
Yeah. So the reason is I wanted one of these.
Yeah.
And I also wanted one of these.
There you go.
And Mike's wicked. The pedals are amazing. The weird thing about this is I actually don't like using one side on its own. I like using both sides.
I think you're not alone in that.
Because together is better.
Yeah, together is better.
And I've just wiped all my settings off, which I'm now really angry about.
Well, I'm pretty sure just the best setting is just everything at 2 o'clock.
It's not that. Yeah, no. No, see, I like to have the drive after is lower than the drive in. That's it. Anyway,
Yeah.
So yeah, King of Tone, everyone knows what it is.
There you go.
It's really cool.
What mods did you get on it?
Just high gains on both sides.
Yeah. On both sides?
Yeah, because guess what?
That's what you like.
You can, well, it should be a standard mod, I think. Or everyone should just do that. Because you can always turn the drive down.
Yeah.
So I'll go high gain, you've got more.
Yeah.
Turn it down, you've got less. Job done.
Wow.
Well, that's true.
I don't know, spilling the hard truth.
It's true, is it not? Like, unless you're never going to go into those reaches,
Yeah.
just always have the high gain mods. Yeah. I didn't go for the 4 things because, I'll be honest, even if I use it with a loop, I'm using both sides.
Yeah.
Right, so they're both on.
Yeah.
And I didn't need any of the other stuff, and I was happy.
Cool.
So just
Nice.
bang, purple. I toyed with going for a different colour.
I got a white one.
I toyed with going on a white one.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so that's that, and that's wicked. Obviously, King of Tone version 4. I did have a V2 ages ago, like a really thin.
What have they changed? It's just
It's more flexibility. It's this. I guess it's the same as what we were talking about with the Peacekeeper, in that it ended up here because he ended up putting the right amount of controls in. And then I got the Bicom Rosso because I used to have it in. It was a folded metal version, I think, and it was the same as the Chorus had a folded metal version. But again, I was gonna go for a different colorway, and then I just know I need to go. You need to go classic. So yeah,
2 comps in one.
2 comps, and I'll be honest with you, my favourite comp is really just that,
Just the one.
the orange squeezer. But the Ross comp's great as well. So the Ross comps, both of these comps are comps for personally. I think they're comps for effect.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you're going somewhere with that, and the orange squeezer is wicked. So
Yeah. That's what I like compressors for.
I should have just bought the orange squeezer, but again, I was like, well, I like both, so why not?
More is more.
So more is more, more is better. They work really well together. So yeah, look, no one, Analog Mike does not need a fucking thumbs up from me. He's awesome. But if you fancy it, go and look at his other stuff, not just the King of Tone. Also, get 2 Prince of Tones. Same thing.
There you go.
That's kind of cool. So that's new on the Tone Kallax. What else is new on the Tone Kallax? I bought an amplifier, which I could hold, but it's all wired in, so I don't really want to do it. But I bought a Selma treble and bass 50 at auction for a good price. I mean, a ridiculously low price. And the reason I bought it is obviously we've got the Scarlet Tunic, which is based on a Selma treble and bass 50 that I borrowed from Dan.
Yeah.
We did the work off it, you know, and I've always wanted one since then. Oh, it's such a good amp. Also, he's modified his since, and so basically I said, look, can you look over this amp for me? He's an expert on these amps. So if you have one and you want it modded, and you want it looked over, I think he's got a window over the summer where he's doing some work. So it's not a bit of a... Contact Dan at Coggins Audio. Anyway, he said, oh, it's your birthday soon. Do you want me to... I'll mod it and do it. I was like,
Great.
yeah, that's a great birthday present. Thank you. And so he looked it over. Fundamentally, the iron's great. Most of the things are great. The knobs are perished. No one wants a perished knob. Yeah. And so it's got chicken head knobs on it now. And internally he's sorted it out, and then he's done a negative feedback mod, presence mod.
Okay.
And yeah, the thing rips.
Does that make it more gainy, or just...
No, it just makes it better suited for guitar. So it's got 2 channels, normal and treble. I can't remember. It's here hiding behind this light that's just there. But they're bridged. They're better balanced now. Yeah. And then you plug in and it just rips. So it's awesome. It's A, nice that a vintage item is back on the road. B, it's awesome that it's modified, which would horrify a lot of people, but then they're not very well made.
No.
It's full of mustard caps and all the rest of it, and it is loud.
Yeah. What year is it?
That's a 65,
wow.
1965. Cool. So it's an old bit of gear, right? And yeah, I mean, they go for quite a bit of money, and like I say, I paid 400 quid for it, which is not a lot. And cosmetically, it's okay.
It's a cool looking thing.
It smells old.
Yeah.
Sounds old.
Looks old.
And yeah, I'm really grateful for Dan. Like as a birthday present, that's like, yeah. Awesome. So if you want to have a thing that sounds just like that, just buy a Scarlet Tunic, but without having to go through all this rigmarole. Because if it's not birthday, Dan's not doing it.
Do you think the next generation, or young guitar players coming up, are even that interested in guitars and pedals, or are they solely going to be using plugins and modelers?
Oh, firstly, I'm old now. It was my 44th birthday. I might feel old, and mentally I feel very young. So, I don't know whether I'm in a place to preach as to what the youngsters today are doing. But what I do seem to see, I see this, and they're embracing new technologies super fast.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's always been the case. But because guitar technology is just moving on, and you can essentially open up a laptop, plug in, and have at it on a rig that you would dream to own for a fraction of the price. I know that's happening a lot, and that kind of makes a lot of sense because it's convenient. It can be done on headphones. You can be in your parents', not in your parents' bedroom, that's weird, in your own bedroom in your parents' house. I mean, just sat there, they're in bed, and there you are, playing away. What are you doing in there? Are you putting a soundtrack to it? I don't know. Anyway, I got that really wrong. But anyway, you can be in your bedroom, in your parents' house, playing, guitar, and all is well. But here's the thing. It's a little bit faux. I think, given the circumstances, a change in circumstances, I mean, space, money, time, why wouldn't you want to use the thing that it's emulated on?
Yeah.
Because I've seen people plug in at guitar shows and here when the people have visited, and people be genuinely blown away. Like, oh, you've got, one of the things I get most here is, oh, you've got a Soldano, or oh, you've got a Hi-Watt. I've only ever played the plugins. All right, plug in.
Yeah.
Destroy your ears. Yeah. Go for it, because it's wicked. They're not the same thing. And I'm not. This is not an old man shouting at clouds thing. This is no. They are very, very different. And a recorded sound on a laptop does not. It's not the same thing.
Not compare.
You can't. Same with pedals. And we at guitar shows, we get people, youngsters, from one of the youngest guitarists we had at the last Birmingham guitar show was like 6, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. And he's rinsing through all the pedals, and he's like, you can see he's like super enthused, and his parents bought him one for his 7th birthday. You're like, wow, that's amazing. So I don't buy that people aren't buying pedals. I just don't think it's necessarily convenient for home to have a pedal board, to do all of these things. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to frame my thoughts. What was our first choices? Line 6 Pod,
Yeah.
Zoom,
Line
whatever,
6 Spider.
Zoom 605XX or whatever it was. I can't remember. That's generally where we went.
Yeah.
We had a hardware-based all-in-one.
Mine was a Boss ME50 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a hardware-based all-in-one.
Yeah.
Now that hardware-based all-in-one is.
Computer.
Were people still buying pedals when the ME, whatever it was, was about? Yeah, of course they were. Were people still using amps? Yeah, of course they were. Does it ebb and flow? Also, yes. Does the creation of a laptop-based solution versus the Zoom 605XX or whatever, does that stop
X.
pedals? Triple X. Does that stop you having pedals? No, it doesn't. They're different things.
So it's a jumping off point.
You know, and do you know what's really good about those systems? You're roughly in the wheelhouse of where you want to be. So you're like, do I like a Soldano? I'll try the plug-in. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do, yeah.
What's my aspiration now? I'd really like to own one.
Yeah, I guess
I mean, that's happened to me.
Yeah. Bit more of a fast track to finding out what you actually do like, because when I was learning, I had access to the gear that my dad had, and I had the Boss ME50, and maybe that wasn't the gear that I really liked or the sound that I really liked, but it's what I had access to. Now people have access to versions of a sound much more affordably.
Yeah.
So they can find what they like a bit easier then go out and get.
Yeah. I don't think we in the guitar world should see all of these things as constant threats. No. You know, sometimes they're complementary. Sometimes a pro band will be plugging into a laptop in the rehearsal room to warm up. You know, like don't see these things as a threat. They are complementary. I know personally that I'm into cars. I've bought cars based on what they felt like to drive on Gran Turismo. I obviously drove them as well, but like my interest was piqued by the digital simulator version of it, and you're like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What a world to live in. You go, I'll try it in the fake version, now I'll go and try the real thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it goes the other way. You know, I really like this sound. I need to record. I'll just use the plug. I'm sure it goes the other way.
That's why we're seeing captures. You know, people are capturing stuff as well.
Yeah, the capture things. I think the company that's doing that right is Two Notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're like not licensed. I don't know what their arrangement is, but it's like a licensing arrangement with the companies that they're selling captures of. So they're using their brand and IP and capturing it, but the company who's doing the R&D for the original thing is getting paid, or at least, I'm assuming they're getting paid.
Yeah, I guess when you look at it that way, the Kemper Nor stuff could be seen as a little bit dodgy. Not dodgy, but just like
I mean, that's another can of worms. I'm not opening that. But yes, the problem you have is like we'll get to a point if we're not careful, where no one does any R&D, there's no new thing, and you're just constantly rinsing and repeating past sounds. And when then do you stand out? And I think personally, like the pedals thing, and the reason why I don't think people will step away from is there is a joy in the combination of the pedals.
For sure.
So you take 15, you take 20, you put them all on there, and then you have all these combinations, and that's greater than the sum of its parts, and you can't really get that from plugins. No. But yeah, I understand both sides of the argument. I just think that they
can be complementary.
Yeah, and more like a feeder lane.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the soft drug into the gateway drug to the here's the real thing.